Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very interesting Mega Boss News episode. It is going to be quite interesting to all of us. So let's have a good talk, share as much as we can share, and we're going to put our input in here and just make things happen on today. I want to say to each and every one of you, I pray that today has been not only just a wonderful day, but also a favorable one. That God has blessed you and you continue to be blessed and continue to prosper in everything that you do. Mega Boss News is about several different things. We deal with things concerning things that's in the news. We talk about, and it's a safe conversation, open conversation, sometimes, many times a comical conversation, many times a very serious conversation. And as a result, we have this conversation, very biblical, many times eschatology. And so we cover just a vast amount of information and get your input when we're talking about this information as well. So that is one of the things that we focus on, because I want to make sure that you have a voice as well when it comes to sharing and depositing into the community what your thoughts are, because your thoughts represents a large percentage of people. And so this is why I encourage everybody to share their thoughts, whether they are pro or con something, it doesn't matter. It represents a school of thought for a great number of people. Now, before we get into this conversation that we're talking about on today, I want to make sure that everyone is connected. And so let's make sure that we stay connected today and tell everybody to make sure that they like, share, subscribe, and follow. These are all the ways that you can connect with us. And put my chapstick on while you're doing that. All the ways to connect with us. And that is Facebook, Dr. Kevin E. Williams, Instagram, Dr. Kevin E. Williams Official, X, Dr. KAW Official. You could do YouTube at Kevin A. Williams 777. And Mega Boss News, you can email me at megabossnews777@gmail.com. Again, that's megabossnews777@gmail.com. And in that email, you can share subjects that you may want us to discuss, address, go over, maybe even investigate, so that we can have an open dialogue and open conversation concerning whatever subject matter that you're talking about. We would like for everyone to also support what we're doing. And the way that you can support is, these are 4 ways to be able to give: Cash App, $ Dr. Kevin A. Williams, Zelle, Dr. Kevin A. Williams @gmail.com, PayPal.me/Dr. Kevin A. Williams. And you can mail it to 1822 Short Road, Greensboro, North Carolina, 27406. Again, that is 1822 Short Road, Greensboro, North Carolina, 27406. Also, I will be, and I've said this before, I want to make sure that I'm clear. I have to say this over and over and over again, because people on the internet are really interesting sometimes. So this is not something that I'm telling people they've got to do, or even people in our church and things like that. But I did a 40-day fast some years ago. And every time I do a 40-day fast, people have asked if I would do the 40-day fast, when I do the 40-day fast, to share it, so that people that want to possibly do that 40-day fast can have the opportunity to do it with me, because I'm also online all the time during the fast to tell you and encourage you. So in this 40-day fast, I call it 2140, 2140. And it's 2140 days of fast. You can do 21 days or 40 days fasting and prayer. And it starts January 27th, and I go to March the 7th. So it is starting actually next Monday. I'll be preaching in Connecticut on that day. I start a revival in Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, on January the 26th, that evening. And I'll go that evening, Monday and Tuesday, and headed back home on that Wednesday. So I'll be starting my fast for the first time out of town January 27th through March the 7th. And if you want to be a part of that fast, also check with your doctor, make sure that you do your own research concerning fasting. I have fasted 40 days quite a few times, and it is something that is always a blessing to me. It kills old cells, rejuvenates new cells, rejuvenates your body, things like that. And I think that it's important for people to fast, whether you're a person of faith or not. Fasting is something that is good for the body. And so, with that being said, do your own research, but this is when I'm doing it, and you can be a part of that 2140. On our church is doing a corporate fast on March the 2nd through March the 7th. And so I'm closing out my 40-day fast with the church, but I start my 40-day fast on January 27th. And you can be a part of that as well. And make sure that you stay connected through Instagram or Facebook, so that you can get encouraged every day concerning that. All right. Now let me share something with you. I have different businesses that I own. I don't really talk about that much. I shared that in the Mega Boss Fix My Life, and those people got a lot of different information, but I never really shared. I don't talk about that publicly. In doing business, I found that there are biblical structures and ways of being effective when it comes to doing business. And so I wrote a book, a journal, actually. I put together a journal, and it's a success journal. And so we have a video that I want to play right now, just so that you can see the success journal. Let's put that video up, and
Do you
let's
ever
share
feel
it
like
now.
the days slip away without progress towards your goal, and distractions, procrastinations, and uncertainty keep you from living the life you were created for? If so, it's time to take charge, redefining success, and achieve real transformation. Introducing the Success Journal, your blueprint for spiritual and personal transformation. This isn't just another journal, it's your personal guide to a life of purpose, discipline, and success. Inspired by biblical principles and anchored in timeless truth, the Success Journal is designed to help you transform your mind, organize your life, build your spirit, and prioritize what matters. Don't just plan your day, build your destiny. If you're ready to embrace a mindset of purpose, power, and productivity, the Success Journal is your next step. Order your Success Journal today and take the first step towards a life of discipline, clarity, and transformation. Write the vision, because if you're afraid to write it, you will be afraid to live it.
Make sure that you order that success journal now, up till February the 15th. Success journal is at 45. And then after the 15th, it is at $60. So let's make sure that you go ahead and order that success journal now, so that you won't have to pay that $60 fee. All right. And so we did that as a part of just putting it out there. So let's make sure that we do that success journal now. Order that. I put it up there so that you're able to see kind of what you're getting from that success journal. I have, uh, as I said, I have several businesses that I don't tell people that I own. I'm getting ready to open up for additional businesses this coming year. One of which is a franchise that I've bought into. With that being said, there are ways that you can be extremely effective and more successful in your life. I'm not talking about being a billionaire or millionaire or anything like that. I'm talking about just you being successful in whatever it is that you want to do. That's what this is about. And to show you how to organize your days, structure your days, what you should do, what you should learn from. You have encouraging things in there from myself. And so you can put that out there and share it with as many people as you can, because this success journal is going to be something that is tremendously beneficial for any and every individual that is in business or that is not in business. You just want to get more productivity out of your days. this success journal will make sure that you do that. All right. And so, um, also, I've those of you that I think everybody should be aware that I wrote a book called God Science, and you should make sure that you get that book. You can get that on Amazon, and you can order that book. I have the Success Journal right here in front of me, and you're able to get that Success Journal, and it'll come right to you. Those that already have it realize at this point that it's something that you definitely need in your life so that it helps you to organize, to be better, to do better, and to have more productivity coming out of your life and your day. All right. So with that being said, I think that I've talked about all of my little promos and things like that. So make sure that you become a part of that. Make sure that you are supporting as well. Let's talk about this inauguration and what has transpired on that day and then beyond. And beyond meaning the first 48 hours that Donald Trump has been the president of the United States. First, this has been one of the things that I've said that has to happen is that there has to be a coming together of the United States. To me, it doesn't matter who won. My hope is always in Christ. But whoever is going to lead, there has to be a coming together. Now, when you're dealing with a country, I don't believe that there is any satisfying everybody. I really don't. Always, you're going to have people that are going to be challenged by anything, regardless of what administration is there. And so, and I'm going to say something about President Biden in just a second that many people may disagree with, but it is just my perspective and how I see it. All right. And so let me get that out of the way so we can talk about this presidency. Right before the inauguration, President Biden wrote an executive order, and I'm going to answer these questions that are already up here. But President Biden wrote an executive order to make sure that he created some level of clemency concerning his family and others that he felt would be impacted or affected by this new administration. In addition to that, he did some things that he said that he would not do, which is making sure that his son had clemency, as well as some others. And some people have an issue with the fact that President Biden did that. My response to that is simple, and that is that if you have the power to do that, and you know that power is going to be limited, and you are, forget about what he said, think about this reality. Hunter Biden, whether good, bad, or ugly, is his kid. And because that's his kid, I think any parent in any that has any level of value concerning their children are going to do what they can to protect those children. I don't think that he acted as a president. I think that he acted as a father. And because he acted as a father, I think that it is well understood. Now, publicly, is it accepted? Publicly, more than likely, it's not accepted because they're going to say, well, he did not do what he said. Well, I think that when he was asked those questions, he was asked those questions as a president, but he was not asked those questions as a father. And if you asked him as a father, he's going to do what any father is going to do, and that is protect their kid. All right. So whether people like it or don't like it, the fact is that he's a father. He protected his kid, and then he protected his family. So he made sure that his family was cleared and protected as well as some of his friends that he felt like would have been targeted. Well, I think that if you were a friend of his and you were kind of out there vulnerable because you were supporting him, I think that you would have maybe done the same thing as well. All right. And so I don't think that anybody should have any really a major issue, but some people will disagree with what I'm saying, and that's perfectly fine. This is the forum to be able to disagree. But I do think that him responding as a father, as a husband, as a grandfather, as the patriarch of his family, as well as the fact of some of the people that worked with him When you work with somebody, you expect for them to cover you and protect you. And was there a possibility that the new administration coming in, was it possible that something could have been done? Yeah. Now, him and President Trump had tea, I think, right before the inauguration and everything. I don't really know what was said within the details of that, but I do know this, that at the very last minute, he made a really solid dash when it came to making sure all these people are cleared. So if anyone has any issue with that, then I would say have issue with it in the fact that that it was the fact that the president is the one that was asked that question. But I do not think, this is my opinion, I do not think that the father and that the patriarch was asked that question. And if the father and the patriarch was asked that question, you might have gotten a different answer. All right. And so the two are one in that instance, because now he's no longer the president, but he's always going to be a father. Now, he was the president for 4 years, but he is always going to be a father. And if he's always going to be a father and always going to be the patriarch, I don't know if anyone would have done anything different, because we all are human and we're still going to protect our families. And so that's my view on that. Because, if his son is sitting in jail and he could have gotten him out, and then his son is sitting in jail for all of these years, he's going to visit him. His son is going to look at him and say, Dad, at one point you had the power to get me out. And so why didn't you? I don't know how you're going to answer that as a father. I know how you answer that as a president, but I don't know how you're going to answer that as a father. And so I don't think, and so let me ask you very simply, because I'm going to answer these questions about, because there's several things that came up about fasting and some other things that people ask me. I want to address that. But before I do, I need to find out how many of you all would have done the same thing versus how many of you all would have said, I would not have done that. Tell me what you would have done. Tell me what you would have done. I would have done the same thing, Dio said. I agree, Pastor. I think that those that are looking at this, Yvonne said, I agree also. Agree. I think that, and really, I think that all of us are in the same kind of position that you're able to agree. And I will. I think that in addition to that, I would also like for you to consider the fact that how are you going to be able to look at your family, look at all these people agreeing. How are you going to be able to look at your family at family functions, knowing that you could have that this person's not here, this person's not here, this person's not here, because when you had the chance or the opportunity to free them, you did not. And so I think that the more you look at this, I think it is just obvious. I think that it's kind of people can go online and fussing about it and things like that. But I'm not looking at him as a president at this point. I'm looking at him as a father and the patriarch of his family. And I don't see how anyone, and I don't want to say that, but I'm going to say, in my opinion, I see the fact that he acted accordingly to the fact of, I'm a dad. I'm a dad. In addition to that, if you had family members that were in prison or jail or this, that, and the other, and you could get them out, you believe that they've changed from whatever ways that they have or whatever, you may have considered also giving them clemency as well. So I think that when you have the power to do something, then you do what you can in order to fix those particular things. And people are still responding. This is a blessing, but people are still responding, because I think that it becomes important. I feel like he had already lost one son and there was no way he was going to lose another. That is a very, very, very important point. And I didn't even think about it like that, Takita. But that is a very important point, because anytime he talks about his kid, Bo, I believe it is, he's very, very sensitive and very, very emotional about his son and the death of his son. So I don't think that, I think as a parent, even when you got When your kids are not the best kids, I don't want to say they're bad kids. When you know the kids are not the best kids, something in you still says, I want to give them a chance because I love my kid. So I I don't think that um, I could say a whole bunch about that. I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, but I've said my piece on that. And if anybody disagrees with that, then I respect your opinion. I just want you also have the ability to be able to respect mine, predicated on what I'm sharing. And that's one of the things that I'm praying that social media can learn to do. And that is, respect other people's opinion predicated on the position that they're in, regardless of what it is. I don't care if it's a football team, respect people's opinion, you know, based on the fact of where they're coming from. And you don't know what that feels like until you're in those shoes. And I want you to think about this. If you have loved ones right now that is in jail right now, and you don't have the power to get them out, but if you had the power, my question is, would you? If you had the power to turn something around, my question is, would you? And I believe with Terrio, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I believe that, in a heartbeat. Because the bottom line is, and I don't care what nobody says, that's your kid. At the end of the day, you will do whatever you can for your child in your ability. You will. As good or as bad as they are, guess what? They're still your kid. They're still your kid. And so let me and there's still and people are still commenting on that. No, really, this is I just think that I think that sometimes people are so busy, acting because you love your kids, you always want to give them another chance to do better and be better. I would have done the same thing. I agree. I agree. I agree. Because you're a parent. Because you're a parent. Because you're a parent. That's all. Because you're a parent. So if you have an issue with it, I respect your opinion. Just respect mine as well. All right. So let's look at it. Let me answer some of these questions that came up. Do you fast a few hours a day? Example, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Please give details. No, ma'am. I fast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 40 days, no food, only water, and sometimes juice for the nausea. When you go a long period of time, I do an just total fast. And water flushes out the system, gets rid of the toxins as any other. That's how I fast. I know that some people do the sun up to sundown. I'm not that guy. I am a total fast, except for water guy. And usually the first couple of days, many times, what I have done is I have not even had water. So sometimes during my fast, if I know I have plenty of water and I've hydrated well, I will go ahead and cut water out for 2 or 3 days, and then go back on just to flush my system well. What is the next question? Thank you for your question about fasting, Pastor. How do you prepare? How do we prepare our bodies for a 21-day fast? You're going to have to start breaking down your food regimen, definitely, and start abstaining from meats, things like that. You want to use respectfully, I want to say, you want to start using stool softeners or something like that to kind of clean your system out, because in going into that fast, what's going to happen is your body is going to eat the fat, and it's going to start eating it. The longer you fast, the faster your body starts eating that fat. And when it does, I promise you, a lot of energy is going to come in. It's just going to, it's going to be overwhelming. But start breaking down your food regimen so that you're preparing and ready for that. And definitely your meat intake and things like that. If you're not used to doing it, then that's something that you definitely want to do. Is there another question? Thank you for your question. Why did he pardon all of those people that went into the White House? I pardon all those people that went into the White House. All right, so we're talking about, I think you're talking about Biden, because we're going to deal with Trump in just a second. So let me deal with Biden and who he pardoned. He pardoned there was a there was a it's like a team. It was a team of people that had to address the January 6th. And I can't even think of the team. But there's a team of people that that had to make some judgments concerning January 6th. Biden gave them clemency as well and protection because he knew that they could be open for an investigation. And if they're open for an investigation now, whether you're to the right or to the left, so let me give both sides. If you're to the left, then you'll say the January 6th committee. Thank you, Dante. So January 6th committee, he says, let me protect them. He says, because if this new administration can come in, they can target these people for doing their job. And as a result, their lives can be destroyed financially, socially. So we're protecting them. That's the left. So let me tell you what the right is saying. The right then would say the reason that he did that is to hide whatever it is that they were doing, different things like that. So whether you're to the left or to the right, and whichever you agree with, that's the reasons that probably would be put out. And so nobody knows but the president or the former president now himself of why they did that. All right. So I would say that. So I think that I think that under his presidency, I think that Joe Biden was doing, I believe, what he thought was best in order to protect everybody that's involved. And he probably had, a team of people in his ear saying, listen, these are all the possibilities. What say you? And then he had to make a judgment. So thank you for that. Is there another question put out there? And I'm hoping I'm going to get to what I'm talking about. Okay. Did you see the prayer service, and what is your opinion on it? I did see the prayer service, and my opinion on it was I don't want to talk negatively or positively about somebody's prayer. I will say that I heard some things in the prayers that could be taken a couple of different ways. I think the last gentleman that prayed, he was talking about, he was emphasizing that this administration has got to be an administration for all people and not just some, and that that you agree with or something like that. I think that the pastor that prayed, I think that there was a shift and a move in that room. In fact, when he said, clap your hands and give God glory, that was the only time that you felt like a presence really in that room. And like that, let me say that, a presence like that. And so with that being said, I think that I didn't have it. When people are praying, I try to make sure that I'm not very judgmental about people praying unless, their prayers are just disrespectful and dishonorable. But other than that, I want to think that everybody's prayer is sincere because the prayer is to the Lord, even though it's on behalf of people. But that's my thought. What's the next question there? What are your thoughts on President Trump cabinet nominees? I'll deal with that probably in just a second because we're going to talk about all of that in just a minute. But thank you for that. Give me the next question that's there or statement that you have. Trump, why did Trump pardon all the January 6th insurrection people? I'll address that in just a second as well, because we're going to go over an itemization of a couple of things. What are your thoughts about Elon's salute? I think that, I will say this. I don't know if I pray that it was not a salute that was mimicking the Third Reich. My desire is to always think the best about people. I do think that at this point, though, because I want to be careful in how I say things on social media, because social media is really, really interesting. So I've learned. And so I think that the salute was not the best choice. If you want to wave, wave. But I think that was not the best choice at all. Everyone knows that in my study concerning eschatology, I've talked about Hitler, the Third Reich, all of that. And so I don't think it was the best choice to be able to use. And I think that observing his actions in the coming days are something that America is going to watch. And I think that Elon Musk put himself in a position now to be watched and to be noticed. So we'll see what comes out of that. But I want to think the best of people. What is the next question? Why didn't Trump put his left hand on the Bible to take the oath? Why didn't Trump put his left hand on the Bible to take the oath? I don't know. I don't know. I do have ways that I could possibly find out. And if I can do that respectfully and discreetly and kind of slip it in, because I do have relationships on the left and the right. And so this is why sometimes when I'm talking, I may sometimes talk in suggestion, but I'm actually also talking from information that I have learned that I have to be respectful in the way that I respond. But I will check that out. Somebody in my staff remind me of that. I'll check that out. All right. And so I think that is there one more there? What are your thoughts about President Trump's hand not placed on the Holy Bible? I will check it out. I promise you. I will definitely check that out and find out what happened there. All right. So with that being said, okay, here we go. Give me one more second. Should there be an awareness, not fear, of the all black flags that are being raised during this transition of power of presidency? I think that there should be an awareness of everything right now. We are entering into a space that is unknown. And so as a result, I think that every individual in the US citizens should be aware of what's happening completely and around them. I do think that we all should be aware. I think that that Black Americans are always aware of what's happening around them because it is just our culture to be aware. President Trump made a statement concerning Black and Latino Americans that they came through for him, and he's not going to forget it. And I think Black America is going to be watching to make sure that he holds true on his promises. He only has 4 more years. He cannot go after the presidency again. So as a result, I think that they're going to be watching. All right. And so let's see what happens. I have something from CBS News, and I want to pull it up. CBS News did an article, and they were talking about what President Trump was doing in the first couple of days. So let's take a look at that. He talked about. So I'll see you where I'm getting this from, and so we're just doing some comments. It's a CBS News, so people know where I'm pulling this information from. Trump signs flurry of executive actions and memos on day 1. All right, and so let's pull that up and let's take a look at a couple of things. Those that are asking questions, I promise you, I'll get to your questions. Stop right there. He signed his first documents at the Capitol soon after. He was inaugurated, establishing cabinet and sub-cabinet appointments, acting leaders of departments and agencies, and a proclamation that flags are to be flown at full staff on inauguration days. Flags have been flying on half staff after the death of President Jimmy Carter earlier this month. In watching some of his cabinet picks, I think that each cabinet member is just going to have to prove themselves. You're going to see me going pretty fast because this first part, y'all got me. I got 20 minutes left. So you're going to see me going pretty fast on this. But I think that some of the cabinet, some of the people that have been chosen or that was on a short list to be chosen, some of them are going through a vetting process. What I do suspect is this: that some people have not been cleared because there possibly is some discrepancies with some people that that have to be vetted. And so, with that being said, I think that you have to. This is not going to be a very easy process, but I think it's going to be easier for him for this reason. Look at the fact that he has the White House, he has the Senate, and he has the Congress. So right now, he's really in a good position to get some things passed. But even though he has the Senate and the Congress, all of those guys still are not fully supportive of some of the people that are coming through. And so you're going to find a couple of things that are going to be lingering just a bit. But I think he's trying to move as quickly as possible. This is not a pro or a con. This is just the reality of what is being stated. And so, please don't look at this as any other thing other than a perspective of what's happening now in the United States and in our country. All right. So, someone pull up these questions because I don't want to get too far without addressing some of these questions. What are your thoughts about the allegedly child support law that he supposedly put into place? I don't know very much detail about that child support law. I've heard some rumors about it. My my efforts and my attention has been on some other things, but I will check on that. Staff, if you will let me know to check on that, I will check on that as well. One of these days, I'm going to do a special coming addressing things, so you want to be looking out for that. Give me the next thing. Pertaining to President Trump and the Bible. I saw a video and it was stated in the video that because he was allegedly sworn in as 19th president of the USA, he was sworn in as president of US of Republic. I've got to check that one out, but I know you will look more into that to confirm it. Most definitely I will. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Alan and Roth is getting some good. Alan and Roth, y'all owe me something because y'all got something on there for me. All right, so give me the other one. Is there any Black cabinet members? Not that I know of. Not that I know of right now. I don't know of any Black cabinet members. Do I believe that there will be some that's coming in? I do. I do believe there's some coming in. I don't know of any right now. I do know that that some of these people it's going to be a little bit getting some people pushed through. I do know that there is going to be a strong group of Blacks that are going to be working connected to the White House. That I have confirmed through undisclosed sources, but that will come out more and more later on. All right. So I think that is it. Let's go to pull that down and let's go to the next clemency of January 6th, offenders and defendants. Pull that up and let's take a look at that. All right, let's stop right there. All right. Once he arrived in the Oval Office at 7 p.m., the first executive order Mr. Trump signed at the White House was a full pardon for about 1,500 people involved in the January 6, 2021 Capitol assault. A handful of January 6 cases won't receive a full pardon, at least for now, pending review. Mr. Trump said he commuted the sentences of over a dozen members of the far right oath keepers, several of whom had received the stiffest sentences. Let's take a look at this. Among those receiving clemency from the president was expected to be Enrico Tarrio, whatever you say, the former head of the far right group of the Proud Boys, who was serving a 22-year sentence after he was convicted in May 2023 of charges including seditious conspiracy. His lawyer, Naeed Hassan, told CBS News that Tarrio was expected to receive a pardon or have his sentence commuted. All right, so I'm going to give commentary on that. Then you can jump in as well. The 1,500 people involved in that, a group of people that will not receive full pardons. I don't know what that means, full pardons. I don't know if that means that some of them are not going to receive pardons at all because they were found to have violated the law fully. But there was quite a few people that I would say, I can't say that when I was watching, and I think that anybody that is watching January 6th that was out there, everybody that went out there was not out there to do something malicious. I think things happen, and a lot of those people left, all right, or were leaving and were arrested because if you were out there, you were arrested. Some people did get away. I do know of a couple of preachers that were out there. The FBI came in, got their phones and laptops and things like that to make sure that they were not fully involved in some things. Some of them they were cleared, and other people were not. Some of them got something on their record. So please understand, 1,500 people involved in getting a full pardon doesn't mean there was 1,500 people necessarily that was arrested and that is sitting in jail right now. A full pardon is also not having something on your record because you were out there during that time. All right. Now, when it comes to the situation with the Proud Boys and this gentleman, I am going to, and I have to be, I'm going to be as balanced as I can. First of all, I do not support or condone anything that has to do with bigotry or prejudice at all. I just don't. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't condone that at all. In stating that, I will also state that in our country, and I want you to hear me good, in our country, if you are being charged for something, then it is for that situation. It should be for that situation. So Enrique Terrio, they're going to have to look and see what he did in that situation. If he's innocent in that situation, maybe he's guilty in other circumstances. But if he's innocent in that situation, my question to you would be, should he then be arrested? If in turn, if that situation, he didn't do anything. Now, I don't know if he did or not. I'm going to tell you that. I don't know if he did or not. But I will say that if in that situation, he did not do anything, should he be arrested? Now, if there are other things that are out there on him, then they're going to do their investigation. But I don't believe that people should be cleared if in turn they did something. I believe that they should be arrested and should handle their sentence. But if they were out there and you happen to be one of the number that was arrested, but you didn't do anything, because here it is that they're saying former head of the far-right Proud Boys, who was serving a 22-year sentence after he was convicted in May 2023 of charges including seditious conspiracy. We need to investigate, and they're going to have to investigate what that is. Now, is he right, wrong, or indifferent? I don't know. I'm just going to tell you all, I don't know. All right. Will I investigate it? I will investigate it because I want to find out what seditious conspiracy is and what was out there. And if so, then I believe that he should stay in prison. If not, then even though he may have done other things, the reality simply is this, and that is that you should not be. And if anybody knows that, Black folk ought to know it, that you should not be, regardless of anything else. If I didn't do nothing in this situation, then I should not be charged in this situation. All right. So with that being said, we got a couple of things that is up. Go ahead and put it up there. Questions that got up there. Transparency moment. I honestly had to repent to God for not voting for President Trump this second time. Valuable lessons learned not to vote your feelings, as Dr. KW shared with us many times. I think that a lot of people, thank you for your transparency. I think that a lot of people, and I did not, and I want to make sure that I'm clear, because when you read that, people assume certain things and they weren't there. And I just realized that this situation with social media, people are ridiculous. All right. I want to say something else. So people are ridiculous. All right. But I didn't tell anybody who to vote for. I just said, vote your conviction. Vote your conviction. Vote the fact of whoever is aligned with your conviction, vote your conviction. All right. And whether the person that you voted for is in office or not, that doesn't matter to me. I think it is most important for everybody, vote your conviction. All right. Put the next thing up. What are your thoughts on the two-gender policy? You already know my thoughts. You already know my thoughts. My thoughts is there's only two genders. Now, there may be people that will disagree and all of that, but I need y'all to read the question. What are your thoughts? My thoughts are there are two genders. And I never thought anything different. I never thought anything different. Ever thought anything different. There's only two genders for me. Now, I'm a Bible guy. My Bible tells me there are two genders. There are two genders. That is it. I'm not being politically correct about it. That is my conviction. There'll be many people that disagree. I'm okay with you disagreeing as long as you don't impose your view on me. I'm not imposing my view on you, but don't impose your view on me. And that is that I believe there's only two genders. All right? That's just it. And you have certain things that are inside of your body and on the outside of your body that tells you what your gender is. So that is my, put the question back up so people can see what it said. Because what are your thoughts? These are my thoughts. Now, I'm going to be like the Lord on in Isaiah 55. Your thoughts are not my thoughts. Your ways may not be my ways. But my thoughts are the two genders. All right, next question. Is AI going to take over everything? I think AI is going to take over a lot. And to be honest with you, Sister Brenda, I believe AI is making a lot of people lazy. A lot of people lazy. Ain't nobody doing their homework, AI doing it. Ain't nobody cutting on their lamp, AI doing it. Ain't nobody reading books, AI doing it. I'm concerned of, if I have to have an operation, I need to know exactly when you graduated. I need to make sure AI didn't do your test. Don't be cutting on me trying to, I came in here for my arm. And you got a knife at my knee. Nope. Not me. I think that AI is doing a lot. And I think that people got to be careful because the more you depend on AI, you better remember something else. The more information that AI got about you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Now, now let me tell you, and y'all didn't ask for this, but I'm gonna give it to you. Let me tell you who you don't want telling your business. AI. Be careful of the information you put in there. Because if AI just starts spitting things out because it had a malfunction, dude, great day in the morning. I promise you right now, AI is something else. Now you got robots and everything and things. Listen, if AI go, AI tell, I can't even get it out. AI go to telling people things, what you said about them and things like that. I promise you. And don't think you can unplug AI. This is not no pressure cooker. All right? The AI is a different beast. All the little questions you ask AI. And what I've learned about AI is that we make AI smarter. The more information we put in it, I don't want you to know that much about me. Nope. So the last thing I need is AI asking me, how would you like your coffee today? None of your business. None of your business. So give me, was there any more questions? Do you believe President Trump's ex-lawyer, Michael Cohen, will still leave this country because of fear from President Trump? I don't know if he will, but I would. I tell you what, if I was him, I would. Because right now, yeah, I'm looking at a lot of people that gave that man problems are all backpedaling right now. And if you try to now you got to think about it. If you try to take somebody down and they didn't go down, nah, bro. Nah. There are times that people feel strong. And I always tell people this. You may be strong today, but there's another day that's going to come. And when that other day comes, if you were not giving mercy, you may not get it. Next question. I ain't going to get through this whole thing. Go ahead. Next question. All right. So what we got? I don't think the president is leaving at the end of his term. I would hope he does, because if he doesn't, then the United States is going to be in the middle of a civil war, which is going to be just like that movie. But I don't. I would hope that he does. I think the kind of situation that, yeah, I would hope that he does. I would hope that he does. I would hope so. Do you think this is the time of wealth transfer during this administration? Most definitely. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I'll give you an example. Look at the cryptocurrency that was had. A cryptocurrency. Donald Trump had a cryptocurrency, has a cryptocurrency. His wife has a cryptocurrency, and his son Barron has a cryptocurrency that nobody's really talking about. The cryptocurrency with Trump started off at what? Maybe $6, $7, something like that. Maybe a little lower than that. Now it's at $75. All right. So I think that, and it may have been when it comes in, because it comes in very low at pennies, and very few people know about it. But as they find out about it, it builds up and builds up and builds up. Most definitely, there's a wealth transfer. Please hear what I'm saying. And I told a buddy of mine this, that when you have that many billionaires in a room at an inauguration, and that has never happened before in the history of our country, and a lot of these billionaires were supporting the far left, and they at the inauguration smiling, shaking hands, and taking pictures and kissing babies. What does that say? That says even when you're a billionaire, you don't want problems with this administration, because you can go poor real quick. And I think that all of these jokers are coming together. And to be honest with you, and y'all hear my thought, I don't think that there's going to be an issue with people becoming multimillionaires. I don't. I don't think this administration is concerned about it. Now, y'all hear my thought. I don't think this administration is concerned about it. And let's talk about Black and brown people. Is this administration concerned about Black and brown people becoming multimillionaires? Let's even go a step further. Billionaires. I don't think they are. I don't think they are. Let me tell you why. Because them jokers getting ready to deal in trillions. Trillions. I don't think they have a problem at all. So do I think there's a wealth transfer? Mr. Wendell, I believe there's a wealth transfer that's coming. They're not concerned about that level of wealth. And so I'll give you an example that I told someone recently. If you work for somebody and the person that you work for has $900 billion. Are they concerned about you getting 1 billion working for them? My response would be no, because you're still small fries to them. So do I think there's a wealth transfer that is coming? Yes, I do. And who do I think is responsible for it? God. I think God is making a way. Now, he uses men, but let me tell you something. Every good and perfect gift comes from the Lord. How do we get in on the wealth transfer? How do we stay in the loop? There's a couple of ways, but to respond to that, information and staying connected to where you can get information. Staying connected to where you can get information. A lot of times when information is coming out, it's coming out so quick. And sometimes you have to be careful because the way that social media is kind of geared up right now, if you say the wrong thing trying to put the information out, they'll snatch you right off of social media or tell you to take it down or it's been flagged or something like that. So I would say stay connected and listen to what I call the roundabout conversation. Because the roundabout conversation is conversations like I'm having right now, roundabout conversations. But I just put some information out there for you to be able to look at. Because please understand something. Once you do that, so let's say, for instance, and I don't know where Donald Trump's cryptocurrency came in at, but let's say it came in at $7. Let's say it came in at 50 cents. I don't know. I know it's at like $75, $77 now. So if you did that, if you came in at 50 cents and you bought, I don't know, $1,000 worth, and now that 50 cents for a piece of cryptocurrency now is at $75 for every 50 cents that you put in there. Wealth is already transferred. Yep. So I would say, and I'm talking to some buddies of mine, and I may try to put some things out there for people to look at. I remember one time I put something out concerning Target, and I told people you need to buy Target now. Because Target had went through a dip. There was a situation that happened. It was in another administration some years ago. Situation had happened. Target had taken a dip. I told them in a service, you need to go buy Target now. Many people bought Target then, and when Target regained, people did very, very well. They did very well. They did very well. Very well. All right, next question. Has God revealed where all those drones were coming from? God didn't have to reveal it. The information is starting to seep out. Now, I tell you what, staff, remind me to investigate and then see if I can share what I have found concerning those drones. All right. But what you're going to find out right now, until all of this gets fixed on censorship, and this administration said that they're going to pull all of this censorship fiasco away from social media because you can't say anything without it triggering the algorithm and going somewhere left. But as long as I can do that without triggering the algorithm, I'll be more than happy to tell you what I've learned and what I know. But I want to make sure that I do that. Don't have time to do it now, but make sure I do that. I'll go to the next thing. Do you believe churches would benefit by providing financial literacy classes and self-sustaining classes for members? Most definitely. In fact, I'm getting ready to do something, and you all need to stay tuned to that, because I'm getting ready to do something. It's going to be a small fee, but I'm going to bring some people in. It'll be for like 2 or 3 days, and everything that you need to know concerning certain things concerning investing. I won't give too much information, but you'll see this. Give me about 3 days, and you'll see me post it up there. That's why I'm telling everybody, like, subscribe, make sure that you follow all of those things, because when that comes up, you want to make sure that you are a part of that seminar that I have coming, and that seminar is coming very soon. I'm talking about like in the next 30 days. I've got a seminar that's coming that everybody needs to hear, and it will change your mindset concerning financial literacy completely, especially when you're dealing with cryptocurrency. That's all I'll tell you. All right, next. What are your thoughts about the southern border being declared a national emergency? I think that y'all got me on a whole lot of stuff. After this one, I'm gonna hold up on the questions so that I can get at least one more thing out. I want to get at least something with TikTok out. All right, so I think that right now we've got this administration is always going to address one of the major things it was addressing is border issues. Border issues are just a major issue when it comes to this administration. And so I think that right now there's a lot of concern about non-citizens and non-citizenship. Now, he did something recently, and I don't even have time to address it. Shoot. But you know what? I may try to come back on and address this at another time because it's just too much information. But I think that our borders are getting ready to get really, really tight. And I think that anybody that was going to try to come to this country illegally, probably the best time to have done that was before now. Because I think they're really going to buckle down. Let's take that down. I want to go to my next thing on TikTok. Let's just pull that up because I want to address it, and I'm going to tell you my perspective concerning TikTok. I'll go back to the CBS thing that is there. All right. So let's look at this. Mr. Trump signed an executive order Monday night telling the Justice Department not to enforce for 75 days a law that effectively bans TikTok. It was supposed to go into effect a day ago. Roll that up just a bit. Stop. It's unclear what legal authority the president has to delay the bipartisan law, which was passed by Congress last year over national security concerns and upheld by the Supreme Court 3 days before Mr. Trump took office. Now, I'm going to tell you all my perspective concerning this. This is a business play. I don't know if you realize it or not, but the CEO of TikTok was at the inauguration. The CEO of TikTok was at the inauguration. I'm going to let that sink for a second. The CEO of TikTok was at the inauguration. TikTok was down for a day and some change. And he was at the inauguration. Now, I'm going to play something that many of you may not have seen. And it is President Trump addressing something concerning TikTok. And I want you to give me your perspective on what you're getting ready to hear. Take a look.
It's passed in Congress. It gives the president a right to make a deal or to close it. And we have 90 days to make that decision. So if I do the deal for the United States, then I think we should get half. Like a joint venture, I think we would have a joint venture with the people from TikTok. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's one of many ideas I've had. So many different products made in China, and nobody ever complained about it. The only one they complain about is TikTok. And TikTok is largely young people. I guess I have a warm spot for TikTok that I didn't have originally. But, you know, I went on TikTok And I won young people up by 36%, Peter. To be honest with you, I think we have bigger problems than that. But you know, when you take a look at telephones that are made in China and all the other things that are made in China, military equipment made in China, TikTok, I think TikTok is not their biggest problem.
All right, now, and I have another video. And I thought that video was it, and it is not it. But I need to address it and take a look at it. But there is a video of President Trump talking about TikTok, and I'm gonna tell you what he said because that wasn't the video, so I apologize. So let me tell you, and you'll be able to find it. He said TikTok is doing. He says if the United States does a joint venture with TikTok, he said TikTok is a $1 trillion social media platform. He said, and this is what he said, and the United States should get half. He says, and if the United States get half, he says, I'm willing to do a joint venture. He said, think about the fact of doing a joint venture with TikTok. Of course, protecting it from information getting out there. But the United States just got $500 billion coming into it through this one situation. Now, Kevin Leary, I think his name is, they call him Mr. Wonderful. He is on he was talking to some people behind stage, and he made the statement. He was talking about the fact that it being an open platform, and they were going to try to get 75, possibly try to get 75 million. Let me say this because that's what it stated. Possibly get 75 million people to invest. When I say invest, buy stock concerning TikTok, and it would be a part of as the question was asked, a part of a wealth transfer concerning this. All right. So this is and a young lady by the name of Nicole Everything. It's on there, and you can't. The volume is not there, but you can see
the crowdfunding structures.
They own equity.
Yeah.
So what we made was a special purpose vehicle.
Yeah.
Let's just sell up to $1 billion. Then you take it public and then you shares.
Yeah.
Whatever that vehicle is, that's how I'm putting my dough in. I want to be beside my people. So
Yeah.
and then we're going to raise $20 billion from sovereign wealth.
Next for you.
TikTok.
TikTok.
Minute, now it's real. We're launching a crowdfunding deal. Every TikToker can buy a piece of the deal.
It'd be crazy.
$100. Each one sells 6
all right, hold that down, and that is from Nicole Everything on Instagram. All right. And so I always show you where I pull things from, but I thought that was a very interesting thing. So Nicole, thank you for putting that out there. I don't know her. All right. But thank you for putting that out there because it enlightens us on something. Now, with that being said, tell me your opinion. Tell me your opinion, because I'm telling you right now, this is TikTok is a $1 trillion and he wants half. The problem begins for China's CEO of TikTok when he President Trump cannot get that half. I'm just saying. Well, I tell you what, if he doesn't get that half for the United States, in my opinion, TikTok is going to be shut down in the United States. And from the reason that it's such a big deal, because they said even though TikTok is all over the world, without the United States, they said TikTok is not worth anything because the United States is the major world consumer, and the majority of those that are using TikTok and have influence with TikTok are in the United States. This is, when I tell you this is interesting, this is interesting. This will be a business deal. It would be. Tell me your opinions. Pros or cons, it doesn't matter. I'm very interested in hearing people's thoughts. Business is business, especially if it benefits the United States, it benefits us of the United States citizens. I'm telling you, this is interesting. Somebody else. Expect unexplained bank deposits increase. I believe God. All right. Somebody else. I knew Trump's change of heart on TikTok was related to some sort of business deal. So I think it was Dante that said he didn't like TikTok at one point. But let me tell you something. When you get a bunch of billionaires in the room, something is happening. Somebody else. Business move for sure. It is a business move. I see now. It is a business move. It is a business move. Investment season. It is. It is joyous. It is. Of course it was. It was a power move on every angle. Set it up to be taken down and save it with swollen pockets. I'm telling you, this is all business. People got to think different. TikTok will be an investment for President Trump. I'm not sure if he can do that himself because the president is not allowed to personally benefit. But I will say that I do find it interesting that many presidents that have gone into office that didn't have any money when they went in there, when they came out of office, they're just multimillionaires and things like that. I just think that it's very interesting. Don't know how that works. It's past my pay grade. All right. If the U.S. Gets half, then that may put censorship back on the chopping block. It may. It may. It may. It may. Or it may put the United States in a position of control. Remember, he was at the inauguration. Isn't it a security risk? I think that, yes, it is a security risk. That's what they were talking about. That's what Congress said. But is it something that could be controlled? Well, Mr. Wonderful made a statement, and and pull Mr. Wonderful up in TikTok, and you'll see it for yourself. But he said controlling it and making sure that it's not a security risk is really not an issue. He said it's really not an issue. Someone else. I am way past my time. Really, Kev? All right. I thought Elon Musk wanted to buy it. Well, all of them are in the same house together now. So as a result, and I don't think Elon Musk, as much money as he has, let me tell you what you don't want to buck. You don't want to buck the United States, and you definitely don't want to buck the man that in turn right now has that level of influence and control. You don't want them problems. As much money as he got, I don't think he wants them problems. That's why he's playing nice when it comes to the United States. My opinion. I love the business aspect of President Trump. President Trump is a business mindset. And trust me, people are benefiting. People are benefiting. Next. Is that it? All right. Trump is a businessman. This is definitely a business move to obtain leverage for the United States. The United States is going to have leverage. And everything that he's talking about is putting America first. And so let's this is time to watch and see and observe and not be foolish when it comes to not seeing, not watching, not observing. Every last one of us have got to make sure that we look at it. This is, when I tell you this is a lot, this is a lot. All right, guys, let me close this out. And like I said, I didn't even get to everything in the article that I wanted to get to, but we will do that again. I want to make sure that you know how to be able to connect with us, because as we're doing things, we want to make sure that you're able to connect. So let's put that up there of how to connect with us. Facebook, Dr. Kevin A. Williams, X, Dr. KAW official, YouTube, at Kevin A. Williams 777, Instagram, Dr. Kevin A. Williams official, and you can email me at megabossnews777@gmail.com. Ways to give. All right. These are the ways that you're able to give. Cash App, $ Dr. Kevin A. Williams, PayPal, Dr. Kevin, PayPal.me/Dr. Kevin A. Williams, Zelle, Dr. Kevin A. Williams @gmail.com, or you can mail it to 1822 Sharp Road, Greensboro, North Carolina. I am going to ask everybody if they would, if 10 people would give $25, and everyone else, if you would get the closest thing to $7 and give that, that would be great. That would really, really be great. Thank you so much for your time today. I am going to play this success journal one more time, and so that you can just see it right there, and then make sure that you order that success journal, because it'll be a blessing to you. Let's go ahead and play it.
Do you ever feel like the days slip away without progress towards your goal, and distractions, procrastinations, and uncertainty keep you from living the life you were created for? If so, it's time to take charge, redefining success, and achieve real transformation. Introducing the Success Journal, your blueprint for spiritual and personal transformation. This isn't just another journal. It's your personal guide to a life of purpose, discipline, and success. Inspired by biblical principles and anchored in timeless truth, the Success Journal is designed to help you transform your mind, organize your life, build your spirit, and prioritize what matters. Don't just plan your day, build your destiny. If you're ready to embrace a mindset of purpose, power, and productivity, the Success Journal is your next step. Order your Success Journal today and take the first step towards a life of discipline, clarity, and transformation. Write the vision, because if you're afraid to write it, you will be afraid to live it.
Thank you so much for your time today, and look for us very soon. God bless. Take care.